Welcome back to the Little Marketing Podcast, where we share practical real-life advice for Australian small businesses. Today we're going to chat about something that's changed big time over the last few years, and that's what customers are really expecting from the businesses that they buy from. It's not just about having a great product or service anymore. People want things fast, they want things to feel personal, and they want to know that the brands that they're buying from actually care about the world around them. So in today's episode, we're going to dive into what those expectations really are in 2025, how small businesses can keep up with them, and how a few small changes can help build loyalty without having to spend thousands. The shift in customer expectations. So let's start with the big picture. A few years ago, if you had a great product, charged fairly, and treated your customers well, you were doing great. But today, that's just the starting point. There's a report by PwC that says at least 80% of customers say that their experience with a business is just as important as the product itself. People value how they feel when they buy from you just as much as when they buy the product itself. And from what we're seeing in the small business space, there's three themes that keep popping up, and that's speed, personalisation, and values. So if we start with speed, so customers, they expect everything right now. Fast replies, fast delivery, fast problem solving. We're living in the instant era where people can get food, book a ride, or book a haircut in seconds. So if they send a DM or a web inquiry and they don't hear back for days, they're probably going to move on. So for example, if we looked at a cafe, so say they had catering inquiries coming through on Instagram, but they weren't being seen, so they were missing out on those bookings. So once they set up some order replies and checked their messages more often, just by being faster, their catering bookings jumped. So next, if we talk about personalisation, so people don't want to just feel like another number. They want to feel known. This doesn't mean that you have to use creepy data tracking. It's just about showing that you get them. So for example, take a florist. She starts sending EDMs to people who bought for weddings versus people who bought just normal bouquets. It's a small change, but just by paying attention, she related better to her customers and the open rates of her EDMs started to increase. And finally, we get to sustainability and values. Customers like to buy from businesses that share their beliefs, whether that's supporting local, using eco-friendly packaging, or just being transparent about your sourcing. So for example, let's take a cafe. They might switch their cups to compostable packaging. They start talking about where their beans are sourced from, and it's now just a big part of their story, and it brings in customers that care about that stuff as well. Delivering an awesome customer experience. So how do you actually do this without hiring a whole new team and spending thousands? Let's go through a few practical ideas that work for small businesses. Number 1, map your customer journey. So grab a notebook and literally just write down every step that your customers take, from finding you online to buying from you and then what happens after. Where do you see things feeling slow, clunky, or confusing? That's your area for improvement. Let's put that into another example. So let's take a builder. So his customers might have been waiting a bit too long for their quotes and they were getting frustrated. So he started replying straight away with, "Hey, I got your inquiry and I'll be with you in 48 hours with a quote." And that one little tweak can massively improve your customer experience. Number 2, use tech wisely, but keep it human. There are so many great platforms out there. You've got chatbots, auto replies, CRMs, and they're brilliant for saving time, but these should help you improve your customer experience, not replace your personality entirely. So for example, when you're on a website and a chatbot pops up saying, "How can we help you?" You might put in your question there, but then sometimes it also has a button saying, "Would you like to talk to a real person?" It's simple, but it makes your customers feel seen and heard. Number 3, segment and personalize. So don't overthink it. You don't need a super fancy system. You can just split your audience into a few simple categories. So like new customers versus returning, or even different product categories, and just tailor the wording a bit for each. So for example, if you're a tradie, after a job, you could send out a quick text saying, "Thanks for choosing us." And these small gestures just go a long way with your customers and clients. Number 4, stay consistent across every channel. Customers and clients aren't thinking online, in-store, or social media. To them, it's all you. So if they're messaging you on Instagram or social media and then emailing you later, they kind of want you to remember who they are and what they were speaking about. Consistency is what builds trust, and trust builds loyalty with your customers and your clients. Number 5, empower your team. If you have staff, make sure that they understand your brand and what it looks like to have good customer experience for your customers and your clients. For example, if you were a small retail store, you could train your staff to just ask one simple question to each customer that walked in, or have a quick friendly chat with them before they leave the store. It's the little things that are done consistently that make your businesses feel special. Feedback and after sales. So something that gets missed often is what happens after the sale. So following up afterwards is one of the quickest ways to stand out. So just send a quick "how did we go" message, or even a quick feedback form, and you'd be amazed at how much your customers or clients appreciate that. Let's put this into an example, let's say a cleaning company. So after every job, they send this out. If there is an issue, they say within 24 hours they'll rectify it. And then sometimes even some of your most loyal long-term clients start out as a complaint, but because of the way that you handled it, that's why they stay on. And if you start to see some patterns like slow delivery or tricky navigation on a website, think of that as some free research, and that's your area to improve your customer experience. Building a customer experience mindset. So at the end of the day, building a great customer experience isn't about having fancy systems or spending thousands. It's all about the mindset of your business. It's about consistently asking, how easy are we to deal with, or how do we make our customers feel? Small businesses often underestimate how much of an edge that this can give them. Unlike big businesses, small businesses actually know their customers or their clients by name. You know how many kids they have. You know if they went on holidays last month. You can talk to them directly, and you can also hear their feedback firsthand. And that closeness with your customers or clients means that you can adapt faster and genuinely show that you care. So just start with some small improvements. Maybe it's responding to inquiries faster, personalising some thank you messages, or just reviewing how your business looks online. All of these little moments add up for your customer experience. When your customers and clients feel understood, seen and heard, they don't just stay, they stay around for longer, they buy more, and they refer you to their friends and their family. So as you're thinking about your own business today, just think about, are you just selling a product, or are you also delivering an experience that your customers or clients will remember? So to wrap up today's episode, the game has changed and your customers or clients are expecting more. They want things fast, they want it to be personal, and they want to believe in the business that they're buying from. You don't need to overhaul everything, just some small improvements, a faster reply, a more meaningful thank you, a faster checkout on your website, or even a greener approach for your business. It's just the everyday stuff that makes people appreciate your business and say that I love buying from them. So this week, have a quick look at your business and just think to yourself, would I love doing business with me? Thank you for listening to today's episode, and if you found it helpful, please share with a fellow small business owner. As always, you can find our episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. You can visit our socials to learn more, or visit our website at littlemarketing.com.au, or even send us an email at ask@littlemarketing.com.au.
Please note that all the information provided on this podcast is general in nature and is not intended to be specific advice to your individual situation. Please be sure to engage a professional for a customized approach to your business and personal circumstances.